So if you saw this episode of Tomo-chan is a Girl at face value, there is so much that you will actually miss. I personally feel like I can make a almost doctorate speech to the whole world about this one episode itself. I feel like I can write pages and literally go on for hours just detailing the small minute things that happen in this episode and still barely get to everything. There is actually a shift and so much character development out of almost every character in this one show. Even the small B rank characters or C rank characters that you barely see in this show has had some type of improvement or development in their character off just the events that happen. That it's like, I don't even know if I have time to go over everything, but I think we'll hit on the most important things and some of the reasons why you're here watching this video right now. Great episode, awesome episode. I mean, I enjoyed every moment of it. We got to see a lot of good stuff. Tomo and Yukata, a lot of little cute moments, fancy moments, Carol being Carol, Misuzu being herself, but it's more than just that. It is literally more than just that. I will definitely try to touch on a lot of different things without taking up a lot of time, because I could easily probably make this an hour-long video. And the episode itself was only like 20 some odd minutes. But regardless, let's get into it. First things first, I'm going to continuously keep saying this. Watch out for Carol. Carol is so sly. And so, we have Misuzu, who's overly manipulative. It's like, that's basically her main character. Like, everyone knows she's like this. Even new people like Carol, when she first meets them, can tell this. Everyone knows this. But people they're ignoring Carol. Carol is subtly manipulative. And Carol just kind of slides and slithers her way into things. And I've said this before, and I almost say this every week. Watch out for Carol. Carol, whenever she is on the screen, she tries to be so cutesy, so dumb, and whatever, but she's pretty much the smartest in the room. At every scene, she ends up being the smartest. So, of course, we saw Carol trying to save Misuzu, and then slips and falls, which is like, what are you doing? And at first I thought she slipped and fell on purpose, but she got mad at Misuzu saying they weren't friends to the gang guys, so then that way she could run off. And then when Misuzu grabs her hand to run away, she just is like, oh, I don't want to touch your hand right now, and then she slipped and fell. So I was like, okay, I thought she did it on purpose, but no, the fall was an accident. So let's delve into Misuzu. At first, when I saw this scene where Misuzu was in bed, they had their little sleepover thing, and she was kind of talking to herself. And she said this line right here, if I use him, Tomo and I could do more. I was like, oh my God, is this her revealing that she has feelings for Tomo? And I thought that at first, and if you see my reaction on Patreon, I straight up said that. I was like, oh my God. But I looked into it a little deeper. If we backtrack a little, we learned that Tomo had told Misuzu that she likes June back in middle school because they had their middle school clothes on. And I was like, oh, that's actually a really cool little, I guess, Easter egg type deal, because we never kind of knew when the first moment, the show starts with her professing her love, and then June it completely goes over his head. So back here, Tomo talks to Misuzu and was like, hey, what can I do? So Misuzu is all going off and saying like, oh, I just kind of willy-nilly was like, hey, why don't you act more like a girl? Maybe that'll help and stuff. But Misuzu is starting to understand that the relationship between the three of them is starting to change. And she's starting to now regret that she was involved in trying to help them. That essentially these are her friends, these are her best friends, and she was like, you know, at the time was like, act like a girl, maybe you'll like that, whatever. And let me show you a few things, maybe that will help you out. Willy-nilly, off the cuff, not a big deal. But now she's starting to realize that, oh my lord, things could change. I'm over here trying to manipulate them to be together, but that possibly could happen. They'd be together, and then she's like, what happens to me? That she still wants to be friends with Tomo. She still, if you want to call it friendship with June, they still kind of look at each other weird. And she really started to hate the idea that what happens if things change. Before the whole fiasco happened with the bullies and such, she straight up was sitting there in the classroom just looking at them and thinking about it. What if things change where they're best friends and then they end up being lovers? She's left out in the cold and things are going to be totally different. And she just now realized, oh my God, things could actually change. But then she kind of tells herself that she's in it for the long haul, that she's actually kind of already committed herself to helping Tomo in this endeavor between getting them together, that she can't really stop at this point. So she's still gonna be a good friend and try to help out, but she kind of regrets starting this way back when. Just her own internal monologue was really something to look at, like, wow, okay, well, okay, this is what's bothering her. And of course, Carol's kind of getting in there. It's like, is this really what you want? Do you really want to kind of get them together? And it's like, she's like, shut up. So here Carol has the demon mask, and it kind of, like I said before, you got to watch out for her, because this is kind of like, I say, like an Easter egg, kind of looking at the fact that, yeah, you might look at Carol as the innocent one, but truthfully, it's all a mask showing what she really is underneath. Little side note there for you guys. If you know, I'm sure some people actually saw that, but just as a little side note there. But here, Carol stopped Misuzu from thinking or even have the chance to get in between June and Tomo from their, you know, being up there and everything, that she makes try to sneak off and kind of be like, hey guys, what's up? Carol's like, nah, you're here with me. So another Carol moment, which happens very frequently in the show. But to wrap things up, the whole thing with June and Tomo talking to June and saying that she felt like talking to June, and if she was to come out and say it once again, that she really was in love with him, that he may actually be receptive of it this time because of all the things that's been happening, especially after the beach episode, which is a good episode, by the way. So she kind of thought about it and was like, is this really the right time to do this? Because yes, things might progress in the way that she wants, and yes, what they have now will end and something new will begin. But she was like, is that really what I want at this moment in time? Because she herself has been saying that June's been acting a little funny and a little weird and such. So she feels like, yes, I can actually profess to him and I might be able to get something out of this, but is it really something that she wants right now? So she kind of just stopped herself, was like, nah, we're gonna be chill. We're gonna, you know, we're gonna be kind of where we're gonna be and kind of play it by ear. Which was really actually smart of Tomo to think of that, because the whole series we've been seeing Tomo trying to advance into a relationship, and now she actually has a chance of that happening, that she stops herself, be like, I really don't think this is the right time right now. Very heads up of her to actually think of that. And finally we have June. June essentially has started to kind of see Tomo like, okay, she's a girl and maybe I can't really fight her as hard as I used to, and maybe I need to, you know, play with her with kid gloves, which of course ticks off Tomo that things are going to change, and Tomo feels bad that, oh, is this our life now? But the whole fiasco with the bullies essentially made June realize that, you know what, Tomo is his best friend above all else. Regardless of, you know, whether she's a girl, whether you should treat her differently, she's still his best friend. And he's like, you know, the whole fiasco made him realize that I don't have to really be that soft with her, and I can be that friend. They can still be friends regardless of this funny interaction between them. They can still be friends in this. And so I love how the whole scene, he's like, we are ride or die. Like when Misuzu gave June this call, and Tomo's like, excuse me, why are you leaving with this bloodthirsty look on your face? Which, this is a cold face for him. I mean, this is like the artistic style there with the shadows and stuff. He is ready to go fighting. And Tomo's like, nah, bro, we going in this together. You about to go get into something. We're going together. And he at first tries to be like, no, you can't go with me. I could take care of this myself. And she's like, these are my friends. Hello? And he's like, man, she is my best friend. So, and they just go ride or die. So this episode has been really amazing, and a lot of different things have been happening between all characters. I even touched on some of the other characters in the show. The fact that the bullies are trying to do this gang thing to set things up, and Misuzu and how she threatens them, or Carol's fiance going off. You know, he has some character development where going off thinking that the gang did something to her body and such because he saw her without clothes on, well, some of her clothes off, and all kinds of stuff. Like, there was so much happening in this episode. So I am looking forward to more of this show because it's getting deeper with each episode. It's not as simple as it looks. They constantly keep throwing interesting things that are happening to them and making this relationship bigger than just the two of them, and how it reflects on each and every one they are around. So great episode. I enjoyed it. So when you guys get the chance, definitely join the Patreon. You will not be disappointed by the reactions, definitely, on these episodes. And of course, if you join that Patreon, your names will be in lights like you would be in the video. But aside from that, make sure you guys subscribe for all the good content, all the amazing anime reviews. We've been having some good home run hitters right here with these reviews. So I hope you guys have been enjoying it. You take care, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye for now.
This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon.